honestly, I can't keep up. What's going on, everybody? My name is Splitter. Ladies and gentlemen, the folks over at Marvel Rivals went ahead and dropped so many different pieces of information for us to break down that honestly, it almost feels overwhelming. Of course, they did reveal the official trailer for the Battle Pass, and all that's cool, and you can see a bunch of different breakdowns of that. That is not what we're talking about here today. Instead, we're going to shift our attention and focus on the two brand new free skins that you'll be able to get, and I'll explain to you guys how you'll be able to do so. In addition to that, we're going to go on ahead and talk about a limited time emote that is also free, and I will explain how to go ahead and get that. We're talking Kingpin. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're talking Deadpool and much more. Now, of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to take a quick moment, scroll on down, smash that thumbs up button. Thank you guys so very much for your kindness and your continued support. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on today's update video. And without further ado, let's dive into the news. And so we kick things off with some free skins, starting things off with an incredible free skin that you'll be able to earn by completing the chessboard event. Now, this event will go live with Season 5 on November 14th. So this is going to be one of those kind of side quest events like they did, for example, remember for like Patch Wolverine, where over the course of, my guess, probably about 2 weeks or so, you'll be completing different missions. And as you complete those different missions, you will then be rewarded with a free Iron Spider skin. Now, of course, for those of you that are not just MCU fans, you will know that this is actually what the Iron Spider looked like all the way back in the comic book series. And yes, he did only have 3 claw arms instead of the 4 that we see in the MCU. So this is accurate, because I saw some people saying like, oh, why did they mess it up? Why does he only have 3 claw arms or tentacle arms or whatever you want to call them instead of 4? Because that's what he actually looked like in the comics. So again, very cool for them to go ahead and include this as a free gift. They could have easily went ahead and probably charged like 1,500 units for this, and it would have sold really well. It's really cool that they continue to give really cool premium skins for free. And sticking on the topic of free, next up, they did also go ahead and reveal the brand new free skin that you'll be able to earn via Twitch drop. So this is the Phoenix recolor, or the Will of Galacta recolor for Phoenix, which looks absolutely fantastic. Actually, usually I'm not a big fan of the Will of Galacta recolors. I think they're just kind of generic looking, but I feel like the color scheme here actually works really well for this design for Jean Grey. So I think this one turned out actually quite lovely. And of course, besides just the skin, you will also be able to earn the spray, the nameplate, as well as an emote, which is super duper awesome. Of course, this is going to be a limited time item, meaning you will only be able to unlock this starting with November 14th, which is when the Season 5 debuts, and ending with December 12th. So just a little under a month to get this unlocked. Now, speaking of timelines, and more importantly, limited timelines, they are giving us a brand new free emote. And this one is absolutely insane, because they actually went ahead and put together a whole trailer for just an emote. But I am definitely a fan. This shows you that they went ahead and went the extra mile. We're talking about the Take a Seat emote, where you can go ahead and spawn in a chair and have your character just leisurely sit down and hang out. Of course, this is supposed to be in tandem with the brand new NYC map that is essentially like a social hub where you get to just hang out. It's a non-combat map, so you'll be able to just spend time with friends or just random people and just hang out on this giant map. So kind of a fun thing. I think that it's really, really cool that they went ahead and actually, seemingly at least, included unique sitting positions / animations depending on what character it is. So I think that that's really cool, that it wasn't just like, you know, the generic pose where most characters would just sit the exact same way. They actually took into account what the character's personality is like and then incorporated it into the actual emote, which is super cool. But this one is very, very important to pay attention to, because this is a limited time free emote. So it will be available for free starting on November 14th when Season 5 debuts. However, it will only be around until November 21st. Of course, if you're a math magician, you would know that that would spell out a week. So you will have 7 days to go ahead and collect this one for free. Don't miss out. Again, it would be a big bummer if you do. Now, of course, for those of you that are keen-eyed and were paying attention, you might have noticed some really cool stuff in the background of the trailer for this brand new Take a Seat emote, including, of course, references to things like Pim's test Kitchen, which of course is an actual restaurant that you could eat at Disney. But most importantly, you would have probably noticed Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Now, of course, the entirety of this particular emote has been done up on the brand new NYC map, which will be debuting once again on November 14th. So a lot to be excited about. But the cool thing is that as part of this trailer, we saw a big giant billboard for Wilson Fisk. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, Blitz, we've had Fisk Tower in this game for ages. Why are you making such a big deal of it? Well, because we've never seen Wilson Fisk himself. This is the first time that we actually see what might truly end up being his character model in game. I've said for ages now that I think a lot of Spider-Man's rogues, like Rhino, like Fisk, would be absolutely perfect as tanks or vanguards in this game. So I really hope that this is a teaser of his actual character model, and hopefully we will see him join the playable roster sooner rather than later. But we're not done talking about NYC and its billboard, because on the official NYC trailer, they did go ahead and also, interestingly enough, seem to tease Deadpool. One of the billboards clearly has Deadpool's insignia square right and center. So that is pretty dang awesome that they continue to tease Deadpool, whether it be via the accessories that we've already got in the game, or of course previously the sticky notes that we've seen in the game, and now we get this billboard teaser. But as if all that wasn't cool enough, then we also got the reveal of this. The gallery card for Marvel Rivals goes on ahead and blatantly teases already the heroes that we can expect for season number 6. And buckle in, because this is pretty dang exciting. So the sentence reads, or the part of the gallery card that I want to draw your attention to specifically reads, "A blathering, foul-mouthed mercenary." Who could that be? If it isn't Deadpool, I don't know who the heck that could possibly be. And a monster hunter as deadly as she is beautiful, who of course would be a reference to Elsa Bloodstone. And the reason why we know that is because we already know that she is a character that they've been working on for ages. Now, beyond all of that, the folks over at XOX Leak have actually gone ahead and revealed an image of the collector, looking absolutely freaking incredible, by the way. The design for the collector in this one is very creepy. But the most interesting things about the collector for the gallery card that we just read is the fact that if you look at the monitors behind him, he's got some obviously collectible items there behind him. We see Rogue and Gambit running away from him, seeking help from the previously mentioned blabbering mouth mercenary, and of course also the monster hunter. And if you look in the background on the actual television screens, we get a preview of said blabbering mouth mercenary in Deadpool. On the left hand side, that is kind of like the little, you know, dwindling part of his mask, like the back kind of like noodle part of his mask there, along with his katana. And then on the opposite side, we see a silhouette for Elsa Bloodstone. So absolutely insane that before we even have the release of season 5 officially here for us to all play, we already pretty much can start to safely assume that season number 6 will most likely feature Elsa Bloodstone and Deadpool as playable characters, which should be absolutely freaking ginormous, just on the basis that, well, those are two pretty massive characters. Sorry, let me clarify. Deadpool is a massive character. Elsa Bloodstone, I think, could actually be a really fun character to play as. And I feel like she could be a really great entry-level character because she will most likely play similar to a character like Punisher, where she's mostly going to use like a shotgun and some weapons. But I feel like she'll be a great entry-level for new players. So now that we've talked about season 6, let's rewind the clock just a tad bit and go back to season 5, because the final couple of things that I did want to break down in today's video is first and foremost the season 5 roadmap. Now, of course, again, I'm not going to go through the little minutia new details like we saw the brand new Assassin's Creed inspired design or Gambit, which was so out of the blue, Magneto 2099, which looks pretty dang cool. But the most important things that I did want to bring your attention to with the roadmap are the following. First and foremost, the important dates. So we obviously have a lot to look forward to on November 14th. We've broken down all of that in today's video, as well as yesterday's video. So if you didn't see that one goes in depth for a lot of these things. So again, go check that one out. Thank you so much. But we also got an update on the November 21st releases, so that is when we can expect both Magic and Doctor Strange to receive their Hope Van Dyne inspired costumes, which is pretty cool. So I guess she is obviously a costume designer within the Marvel Rivals universe. So that is her, I guess, fashion statement there for those two costumes. Then we got a confirmation of an event that will be kicking things off on November 28th, which will be the anniversary event. So that should be pretty dang exciting because, of course, we know that the Jeff skin as part of that event will be free. However, the other 4 skins there, my guess is probably going to be some sort of a premium / free event type thing where maybe 1 or 2 of those are free and then 2 will be premium as part of an event purchase, like at 990 units or something like that. So should be something exciting to look forward to. That will be a really, really good week for Marvel Rivals. And then finally, December 5th will be when we would receive the final 2 revealed skins, which is the Luna Snow skin as well as the Psylocke skin. These are obviously part of that kind of cake sub-theme, as they titled it, which is the anniversary sub-theme. So that will be known as the Rivals Day 2025 release. And then the most exciting date on this entire roadmap is December 12th, because that is the official confirmation of when we will be seeing Rogue join the game. So that is going to be the release date for season 5.5, and that is when Rogue will become a playable character. So just a little under a month after getting Gambit, we will be playing as Rogue as well. And then, of course, after that, just a month after that point in time, either Deadpool or Elsa Bloodstone join the fray. And then the last detail that I did want to go on ahead and bring up are the patch notes. And this is probably the most bizarre patch notes that they have ever done for Marvel Rivals. And the reason why I'm saying that is mostly due to the fact that I'm not seeing a whole lot of nerfs. Like, I went through the actual notes themselves one by one, and for the most part, like, I would probably say like 95% of these notes are all buffs, which is very, very interesting because most of the time we receive kind of a mix of buffs and nerfs. Here, they're kind of buffing a lot of characters all at the same time. With a particular focus, it seems like on the Vanguards and the Duelists especially. I am very, very curious to see what this does to the meta, because of course, beyond all the different skins and costumes and all the, you know, shiny emotes and all the maps and all that, the most important thing is, how does the game play? What is the actual experience of the game? And I'm very, very curious to see what these implemented changes will actually do to the game, in the sense that, will this shake up the meta quite substantially? Because at least on paper, it looks like most of these characters are getting a pretty substantial buff. I would especially draw your attention to characters like Captain America. The Thing looks like he's going to be very, very interesting coming out of this particular patch. And also, I would say I'm very, very intrigued to see how Venom will cause even more chaos than before. So there you go. We are just a few hours away from the debut of season 5, and my goodness, it is so incredible to say that not only do we have the lineup for season 5 and a lot of stuff for season 5.5 already spoiled / revealed, but now we literally have things that are teased and even confirmed within the game itself for season 6, which is absolutely bonkers. It really is so dang impressive to see just how productive this team at Marvel Rivals continues to be. I feel like when they didn't give us the trailer when we all expected it to drop, a lot of us started to kind of wonder, like, oh my goodness, are they going to fall behind? Are they not going to be able to keep up with their previous schedule? And then guess what? We fast forward just a few hours or a few days later, and bada bing, bada boom, we got such an influx of news that it is almost dang difficult to keep up. But I will try to do my best to keep you guys updated on the latest and best news for Marvel Rivals. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with the latest Marvel Rivals news, take a quick moment to leave a like, subscribe, make sure you have your notifications turned on, and I will, of course, hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. Y'all have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.